Welcome, Capricorn, to your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. I am Michelle. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for trying out my readings. If you find that you really like them, remember to subscribe to the channel because there are 12 readings that come out every single week, one for each zodiac sign, and I encourage you to watch your sun, moon, and rising sign. This reading is your reading, so please, whatever energies I describe, apply them to where they resonate in your life. And if you're finding that your sun sign doesn't resonate, check out your rising sign video. Check out your moon sign video. A lot of times they resonate more because of what's going on in your life. This is for Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign. And there's always an extended reading that I hope you'll join me for. The link is below in the description box. I'll attach it to the top of the comment section. And you can just click on a link at the end of this video and get right to it. I hope to see you there. If you love my content, you can enjoy even more of my content over on my second YouTube channel called Astrology Motivation. And over on Astrology Motivation, I go live Monday through Friday, and you can join in the live chats. I hope to see you there too. I do have a card in front of me. We're going to get to it. I'm going to go over the astrology to make more sense of the cards, and then we'll go from there. The astrology is really powerful because this week the sun is moving through Capricorn, still in Capricorn, and it's going to, by the end of this week, by basically this weekend, it's going to start to conjunct Pluto, really be within 5 degrees of Pluto. Now, the sun conjunct Pluto is extraordinary energy, and it will impact especially those Capricorns born toward the end of Capricorn season. So if your natal sun is anywhere near 27 degrees Capricorn, anywhere near 5 degrees one way, not the other, because the other would be past the 30 mark. But around there, this is going to have huge impact on you. It's going to fill you with a sense of certainty about what you need to change in your life, what needs to end, what needs to finish, what needs to be cleared out, because that's how Pluto impacts you. It's going to give you a sense of authority over your own character and a sense of power that will make you confident in ways that maybe you haven't felt confident before. So it is definitely, but what I'm going to say to you is this: leave yourself open for surprises, because where Pluto is activated, it's so primal that it may not be what you have thought. It may not be what you have planned. It just is something that is so integral to everything that you are, you may have actually buried it and forgotten it. And that happens with Pluto energy a lot, since it does rule the realm of the dead. So understand that you're gonna be surprised about the things that end up ending and what you are okay with ending and finishing. This isn't bad news. This isn't good news. It's primal energy. The fact that the sun is conjunct to Pluto means you will have access to it. You will have insight into it. You will, in some ways, have confidence about letting all of these changes happening. And if there is something that you have been feeling, not emotional feeling, but vibrationally feeling, it's just dead weight for a while, this is when it's done. This is when it finishes. Now, all of us are going to be impacted by it, especially Capricorns, but particularly the Capricorns whose natal sun is conjunct to this Sun-Pluto conjunction. And it's in tightest conjunction, I would say, by the end of this week into next week, for about 5 days, where it's within 5 degrees of where the sun and Pluto are within 5 degrees of each other as the sun passes over the last degrees of Capricorn. This is going to be it. Like for the rest of Capricorn season, the sun is going to be conjunct Pluto. So this is just powerful, powerful energy of self-certainty, self-change, and sort of, I gotta say, authority. It's like personal authority. Now, you're not the only ones that are being affected. Capricorns that are early to mid Capricorn, say maybe the 30th of December to the 9th or 10th of January, Mercury retrograde is going to be conjuncting your sun. And that's going to get earlier and earlier as Mercury retrograde continues to retrograde. And that won't stop retrograding till I think January 14th. And so when a Mercury retrograde is going to conjunct your natal sun, it's almost like things that are remembered that you forgot that you forgot. And because Mercury is now squared to both Chiron and Jupiter, this could also mean things that people have said to you that hurt you, and or feelings of being stifled or not being able to think outside of the box, or in some ways like having your cleverness misinterpreted, or acting too quickly or speaking too quickly, and in some ways, how have I hurt somebody or how has somebody hurt me? All of those things will be front and center and illuminated, especially for you guys during this week, because Mercury retrograde is conjuncting your natal sun. What is happening in general is that Saturn, your ruling dignitary, is semi-square. Semi-square to Mercury, basically this whole week. There's a stubbornness there. There's a sense of held back there. There's a sense of thoughts that weren't thought, or because of disappointments or criticisms, you have memories of that, feeling that like almost like remembering what the issues were type of thing. So is this a bad energy? I wouldn't say it's bad energy. I wouldn't say it's bad energy. In fact, in some ways, I feel like it's productive energy, because it's stuff that you didn't have time to think of, that now you have time to think about, and now you have time to focus on it, and you will have to focus on it. Huge energy. Hold on, I wrote it all down for you guys. You may become obsessive. I said this about Capricorn, the Capricorns between the 30th and January 9th, December 30th. The ones that are, the ones who are experiencing Mercury conjuncting your natal sun, Mercury retrograde, because of the semi-square to Saturn, because Mercury is also going to be semi-square to Saturn. This is a sense of things you sat on, things you didn't get done, thoughts that you had thoughts that you were thinking that maybe you didn't give enough attention to, or somebody else didn't give enough attention to. And of course, memories or feelings or remembering what those issues were. The Saturn semi-square to Mercury retrograde could bring about a level of stubbornness, even obsessiveness. You won't be able to stop thinking about something. So that could be distracting. Absolutely. There is a grand Earth trine that happens between the Sun in Capricorn, the Moon between Mercury retrograde, the Moon in Virgo, and Uranus. This is actually a time of clarity that will come, especially to you early to mid Capricorns, that I think will be a breath of fresh air for this week, because there will be a kind of, okay, so now I remember something and now I can know what to do with it, or feel comfortable with the changes that I have to make to create something productive out of it, if that makes any sense. And this would have to do with communications, ideas, words, or information that has been shared or finally discovered. Okay, so let's get into the card that I have sitting in front of me. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which means something has been almost lethargic. And this whole energy can be about working for somebody else. That's what the Knight of Pentacles does. He's an employee. He takes care of stuff other people value. And so he's very reliable. He's very responsible, and he's very practical, and he moves very slow. But the motivation to do something for himself is not there. So that's an interesting energy, I think, to start this reading with. Let's get deeper into this. This is Capricorn. Temperance. I think that you've been doing things. There's something here about you've been doing things just to sort of make peace with somebody or pacify somebody. This sense of keep things going, keep it right, keep it balanced. Or specifically for some of you, there is a job that you have been working on, that you've just been basically, your whole job or your whole purpose was to just keep the peace, to keep things in balance. This is really interesting energy. So, okay, you first start out with, and then we go to the Emperor. Lots of cards falling out here, guys, and strength. Suddenly, there seems to be a level of power and a level up of, you know what? I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident, and I want to move forward, and I finally have the strength to move forward. So for many of you, this could be finally having the strength to move from a job that had gotten really comfortable for you, but at the same time, almost like a trap. Felt almost like a vacuum for your energy. Whatever you have been working on steady. Some of you could be going to school if you're in school. Something that has become lethargic, but you've dedicated yourself to. This is coming to an end, and it's going to then expect you to turn what you've learned or what you've created into something productive. And this is sort of the turning point, or when you see, let's say, the finish line. We have a few cards that came out here. I'll show you the spread in a second. The Hanged Man in reverse, so not waiting because of delusions that you'd get things done quicker. So there is a sense of sort of don't rush in, because there's a sense of you'd be rushing in because you'd think that it would make things happen more quickly. It would make things happen sooner for you, and things would actually work out, but they won't at all. This is things completely being completely failing, especially any kind of delusions of that this is going to happen overnight, right? That's kind of what it's saying. It's almost like you're starting to realize, I have the energy, I want to move forward, I want to put my energy into this, but there's no way that this is going to happen quickly. I'm going to have to keep going very slow with this. I'm going to have to take my time with whatever this is. And feel free to tell me what this is. Leave your comments below. I'd love to know. The Hangman, and this is all coming out in the future. This sense of fools rushing in before they're prepared, not waiting long enough or understanding, or finally coming out of stagnation. But it's based on, you know, like, based on this delusion. This is delusional. The Star card in reverse is like this sense of, if I don't act now, I'm never going to get what I want. And acting quickly will sort of just exacerbate a bad situation and just make things finished. It could even be just simply, I'm tired of waiting. That feeling of overwhelming power and energy, and I'm tired of waiting, and I don't want this to take long. But if you rush, that's what this is saying. Rushing this situation will actually make it crumble. It will kind of, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the huge realization you're getting to, Capricorn. This sense of, I don't want this. I'm done with it. I don't care if it breaks. And let me say this to you, because this is really profound. If you don't care if it breaks, you don't care about it. And I'm being very general here because this is a general tarot card reading. But think about it. If you care about something, you care if it lasts. This is a sense of, I don't give a fuck if it lasts. I'm willing to take the risks. Anything, as you assess your current situation, anything that you can come to that conclusion about, this is what Pluto is going to be acting on. This is what Pluto is going to come around and take away and destroy. Because if you don't care about it, it's garbage. It's garbage in your life, and it's gotta go. Gotta go. Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. This brings on a whole different energy, because here we have Pluto energy again. Full moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. What are you afraid of? Maybe it's a fear that you're reacting too quickly, acting too rashly, or that somebody you care about is acting too quickly, acting too rashly. This is definitely a sense of no faith. You don't have faith in this situation. But what are the fears? Let's get into some details, shall we? Come along with me, Capricorn. What are these fears? What are these fears that Capricorn has to work through? To stand up for what you believe, but people aren't going to be interested anyway. That no matter how much effort or energy you put in, or that you're always going to have to be defending yourself against people, places, things, or ideas that just don't want to budge. Okay, work through your fears. 4 of Cups is disinterest, not being certain, not being sure how you feel about something. And Ace of Cups is coming out in your future. So at least for emotional connections with people, there is a happy energy. Maybe there's a wedding coming in your future. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to rush things. I want to be very particular about them, meticulous about them, but obsessive about them is going to take the joy right out of it. It's going to suck, happy birthday, Doug Denny, is going to suck the joy right out of it. Standing for your beliefs even. So there's a conflict here between you and somebody, or you're the, pick your player. Pick your player. You can always flip-flop the energies. So I'm going to say it as if it was you standing up to what you believe, or trying to do something differently with somebody who is very stubborn and very afraid of change. So there's a conflict there. I don't know if it's you, if it's them. You could reverse the energies, but there's almost like somebody's like, I'm not interested, I'm not interested, I'm not interested, because of past wounds, because of shit that they kind of have they've been through in the past, that they're sort of blocking moving forward in the future. This could be about a relationship. This could be about being able to express love or solidify a love and make a commitment to something. This could even be, hold on, give me a second, guys. The Hanged Man. Okay, I just heard this. It's almost like in some ways, even though you're planning for your future and you're moving forward and the momentum is forward, you're starting to see red flags about what could end this, about what could fuck it up. Write those red flags down, because that's what you really got to work on and rid yourself of. So this is really expose in some ways of the weak links. And if you know what the weak links are, you now have the power to change them. This has been causing you a lot of stress. This could be somebody's medical condition, how somebody's feeling, if somebody's been ill or feeling sick, right? Because a 9 of Swords has come out, which means that there is at least stress going on. Maybe not sleeping well at night, or having bad dreams. Leave your dreams below if you've been getting some intense ones. Give me a second. Or just worry and concern that has been really causing you a great deal of suffering. Worried about how somebody will react, or how somebody is reacting because they're extremely defensive. And will they ruin what you're planning? You know, will they end what you're planning? Will they call a stop to it? Will they just, you're hoping for something, you're looking forward to something, but will somebody's fear of it, will your fear of it stop things? Interesting. Let's look. 2 of Swords is here, which means things are not clear. And there's so much more information that you need about a situation before you make a decision. The Magician is here, is trying to fix things yourself. And 9 of Cups. So this is actually a really beautiful energy. It's saying that you will be able to figure out whatever is confusing you, or you will be able to figure out an exceptional compromise that honestly puts you in the position of real happiness. It's just this week is a major clusterfuck of can'ts, won'ts, stubbornness, headbutting, stuff coming up from the past that somebody may have said to you that still hurts you. What you want and what you're working towards. So I think the secret to success this week is to look for the end goal. look to where you want to get, instead of, you know, focusing on what does it mean, who is this person, who is behaving this way. There is somebody with the Emperor is here, so this could be a father figure. This could be somebody's permission that you can't get, or just somebody with a strong personality and a strong sense of conviction and a sense of themselves. Okay. So how does Capricorn deal with them? Queen of Swords. Be logical. Don't react emotionally. That's a secret to success, because this could make you very defensive and put you on the defensive emotionally. And if you reacting emotionally, I think is not a good idea, because the Queen of Swords just popped out. And the Queen of Swords says strategic. The Queen of Swords says objective, clarity, and don't make any decisions until things are clear. But maybe somebody's keeping information from you that you need in order for things to keep moving forward. But that is the universe intervening and giving something space and time that maybe you didn't even know it needed, but it did. So don't push it. This could be a counselor or somebody that is giving guidance or advice. And let's go into that deeper. I'll see you guys down below. Please join me for the extended reading.